just really getting destroyed. Yeah, he had such a hard time coming back to the stage most of the time, and I just feel like he's just gonna have to look out, be more decisive in the future, and just choose his battles and figure out just where he can punish. That's what we missed. We missed punishes.
He definitely had some opportunities he should have taken advantage of. But, I mean, more credit to Edgar definitely cleaning up his play and taking advantage of the matchup. We're going to be moving into a losers finals now, and we're going to have Edgar versus Ven. I believe, yeah, it's going to be a classic matchup.
Yeah, winner going on to play Mike as well. How crazy is that? There's a DDD waiting in grand finals against either Vin or Edgar. That's insane.
These two players, are no short of, I would say, a good rivalry because they go back and forth just about every week. And we have this matchup of Palutena.
Yeah, this is second
and
third right here.
Oh, yeah.
They play all the time.
So we're going to be having the first and second seed, actually, in losers finals here, like you had mentioned, with Mike waiting in grand finals with that DDD. So I know that Ben was coming out of winners here and unfortunately got 3-0'd. Just in a very exciting, very fun matchup. And let's see if he's been able to kind of collect himself and can take advantage of the situation here.
Yeah, no, I mean, these two play so much that it's really just a battle of whoever makes the least amount of mistakes. I mean, both of these characters know Edgar's no stranger to not respecting Guardian. Vin is no stranger to using for his win whenever he has to. See, just like that, there's no respect for the Guardian going on. These two get down and dirty in this matchup, so it's just really whoever's playing better will take it. Recently, I mean, as always, they always go back and forth. We've seen so many Game 5 sets with these two, and it's always just really fun battles.
Yeah, and right now with the Edgar having a slight lead, again, 19% for both of these characters with the amount of damage they do and their kill options, it's not really too much of a lead. Nasty. I'm actually surprised we're at a situation where both players are at this high of a percent, and neutral are not taking it from the ground here any bit closer to the ledge, and I think that would have done it, but let's see what Edgar can do in this situation here. Great recovery from Ven, getting off the ledge here and going to the center stage. I think that's where he wants to keep his control.
Oh my goodness, that was dangerous, getting punished right there. Edgar, I definitely feel like Ven was extremely confident, just clapping right back. Okay. But Vin does tend to throw out very confident smashes, especially since Zelda does have multi-hits on her smash attacks. There's a lot of the times where you'll think you shield it, but you actually get clipped by the last hit that does the knockback and the damage.
And there it goes.
So forward smash is actually really good, and Edgar does like to move. So a lot of the times you will see Vin tossing some hitboxes out. One thing that I think is going to work for Edgar in a situation like this is that explosive flame. You'll see him using it a lot in neutral. Right now, Vin does have the advantage. But in neutral, you will see Edgar throw out explosive flames either when Vin is off stage or in neutral in a situation like that, or an auto reticle as well. That could be a huge game changer, and Vin is the one who actually has to show respect to it.
Absolutely, and I think that Edgar has to recognize that what Vin is doing every time when he throws out the Knight is that he continuously does a short hop to kind of bait a different option or some sort of a jump, and then drifts backwards. And I think it's because he's trying to put the Knight in front of him. I'm not sure if he's executing it appropriately, but yeah, that auto reticle I feel like would be a great option to utilize to kind of, even if it doesn't necessarily always beat out the Knight, just to kind of put that pressure on your opponent, make Ven have to be precise with it.
Yeah, he can't play in a pattern because once he starts getting figured out, he's just going to get free auto reticle or explosive flame damage on him. So pretty much what this battle is, for the most part, we're just looking up. They have to mix up everything. Vin can't just do that. Yeah. He can't just run to one side, or else Edgar's gonna, try to punish him for it. And that was actually a really good ledge
he
read
the
right
ledge
there.
Jump, got him with a forward, which is something he's been doing a lot more and recognizing options, because he'll put the Knight down to cover pretty much every ground option, and then it says, okay, if I can just time the jump here, get that early KO.
Right. So we have Vin off stage right now. Edgar just trying to find his option. Vin just getting back, but here we got the grab back throw that might do it. Yep, Zelda being a lightweight.
By the ledge like that. Yeah, unfortunately, the more that Zelda very much so struggled on the ledge here, and that's sort of an option where you just risk everything on a whiff is way too detrimental, especially in this type of a matchup where Palutena has the kind of tools that'll eliminate characters just because of one single whiff.
Yeah. Now, Vin, especially when he gets put on the ledge, I really don't believe Zelda has too many options to help her get back on. So I know Edgar, he's a really fast player who kind of likes just throwing moves out on the ledge, but he really needs to be a bit more react ready, more so than read ready on the ledge, because Zelda's not that fast.
No,
you
not
can actually
at all.
react to a lot of the stuff that she does.
Absolutely, and I think just having the multi-hits and the range that Palutena does, he could definitely take advantage of it. But right now, he's taking advantage of the fact that he's in the lead. And we have Zelda in another offstage situation here.
Let's see, the patience right. See, that was an easy react right there, but Edgar just choosing the wrong option. Vin turning that one around really quickly. Wow. That could have actually been the game. Vin putting on so much pressure.
Yeah, he's
great call
really
on the shield.
The ledge right now with that grab.
Ooh, getting hit by that too, the teleport.
Ooh, what a teleport. That was fantastic. Great dash attack. Now we have a reverse situation here where Edgar is actually playing for his life on the ledge, and that forward smash could have done it, but that backer came in for Edgar in the real clutch.
Yeah, what an exchange. That could have been the game right there. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, Vin can't throw out Guardians in the neutral, but we saw he had such a heavy advantage right there. It gives him enough time to set up and add even more pressure when Edgar's off stage. You have that Guardian sitting in the middle, you have Zelda ready for the edge guard, and there's just hitboxes flying at you. It's such a scary spot to be in, but Edgar, he's managing, trying to charging star through the Guardian. That was actually pretty epic, but overall, that Guardian is just really, it's a really good move.
It hasn't really, at this point, the Guardian's really good, but oh my goodness, the dash
he just runs and does it. He said, Hail Mary, this is it, all or nothing. That was the play.
The best part about it is we could kind of foresee that coming because a couple of times you were able to find that as soon as he was throwing out the Guardian at the end of the game here, he was just running through with a dash attack, like you said, trying to just eliminate him right there. Unfortunately, he didn't get the last 2 times, but in that neutral exchange, I think because they both clashed grabs, Edgar was anticipating the fact that Vin might have gone for another one or a similar option,
right?
Which ended up getting eaten up.
Yeah, Vin is definitely going to have to be a lot more cautious when it comes to him running back and falling back in the neutral, because Palutena is fast enough to stop that, and you don't want to get hit by dash attack around 130%, because that's a game ender right there.
Now, what do you think about the Smashville counter pick?
Both of them, as far as I know, Vin is okay with Smashville. Edgar clearly banned Battlefield, arguably Zelda's best stage. I don't think Edgar wanted to deal with that. I think this stage is beneficial for teleport recoveries in general, which both of them do have. Because of that middle platform, you can cancel off of it. I don't think either of them really do that, though.
Yeah.
They don't really go for that, which is kind of strange. I feel like we might see it, but this stage works good for both of them. It's actually pretty neutral.
All right, so I'm wondering if this may have been the best pick for Vin. I mean, almost gets an early stock right
Without
there.
Battlefield, this is probably his second pick.
Okay.
Because I don't know if he would like PS2. Vin, surprisingly, even though he plays a style of like relying on his fallbacks, he actually doesn't like big stages. You won't see him go town too much, and he doesn't like Unova. He doesn't like Kalos.
Yeah. I'm very surprised by those picks because I feel like this is definitely a great advantage for Palutena, having that top platform, being able to poke underneath it, especially if she's able to put Zelda above there. That could, oh wow, great recovery.
Good extend right there with that B.
But I just feel like this platform is more detrimental to Zelda in this matchup. Oh, and that's the Vent special
just
coming up with
there.
Upper.
Yeah, I know. That gets people off guard all the time. That is a huge hitbox below there. It's pretty much the equivalent of getting hit by a bomb, too. That is a really good move. And Vin taking the advantage now. Going for the grab, just getting fair back.
I think we're going to find Edgar looking to play a little safe here to kind of clean up the stock with a single move.
That was good. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like, a lot of the times when Zelda is at the ledge, you don't have to go for any, like, just like, oh, I'm going to press buttons. No, just wait. You can react to it. You could be patient. Here we go. That was interesting right there.
Yeah, you saw him spot dodging there.
Yeah, Edgar also didn't opt to go. Oh, Vin going in. Edgar actually didn't opt to go for the Nair ride combo. He just went for Nair fair. I feel like maybe because he was close to the ledge, he didn't want to overextend with another Nair.
I think he landed right on the corner. I didn't have enough room to like press forward to get any momentum, and would rather have just like gotten free damage instead.
I really like that option for Vin. Instead of just dropping down with like an air dodge or like a neutral B, he actually just did pretty much, he fell as long as he could and forward aired at the last moment. It's mix-ups like that, especially with Zelda, that can make such a big difference in the game. And I really don't think that went too punished either. It was actually a really interesting option to see.
It is. I think the only problem though is Ven does get into the habit of when he does short hop and land, he's going to either develops this habit of where he continues to just land with that same option over and over and over.
Right.
And I think you could see him trying to mix it up a lot on his landing, especially since they're not really successful versus him.
Ooh.
Granted, he got one right there with the lightning kick. Does not.
Oh, wow.
Jump, fantastic
Clipped
read.
him with the tippy toes. That move is actually so annoying because it's so weak. But if you don't have a jump, it doesn't matter because it has just enough hit stun and a downward momentum where you're going down. That is such a weird meteor, but it does tend to work. Another thing is when Vin is behind, he actually will go for a lot more lightning kick reads, forward air, back air.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have tools that can annihilate stocks, you definitely want to take advantage of it. And I really want to give Vin a lot of credit for that opportunity, that option that he selected, because he just, you know, kind of got blown up here and was able to keep his composure and bring the stock back without really putting himself in a big deficit here. That's a sign of a really, really good player, being able to utilize all of their tools and say, no, I'm not going to just lose.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we saw right there, Vin actually, with the patience, with the multi-hits and mix-ups, he was able to get back from the ledge safely, and that's such a scary spot to be in as a Zelda. You see Vin is getting put off stage so much, but he always manages to find a safe way back. I don't know if Edgar's just, I don't know, slowing down a bit, or if Vin is kind of starting to realize what Edgar does here. Again, we saw Vin do 3 different things. That time he just went for an empty ledge get up, didn't get punished for it because it was so different from everything else that he's done. Great roll on stage. Edgar is controlling neutral so well, though. Vin can't. I don't think Vin's thrown out an attack.
No, he hasn't. He's just been trying to get back on the stage here, and it's honestly been going on for about 30 seconds now.
Don't tell me. Oh, that was the freshest snare, bro.
Yeah, he hit him with just about every other move, and that was actually a 100% to death at 50% when they were basically dead even. He kept him on the ledge and controlled neutral the whole time, and it was from center stage, too. It wasn't as if he was only on the ledge preventing any options, but he was putting the fire out. He put out auto reticle. He had the dash attacks ready. He had the back throw ready. He was locked and loaded from center stage, keeping control. That's solid edge guarding.
Yeah, so I think we learned something. Getting back on the stage is one thing, but being able to control neutral and take advantage is another, and that's one thing that we have to see from Vin in this game if he wants to keep his bracket run going, because this is Game 3. Edgar currently up 2-0.
And Vin getting the bread and butter of Zelda early on, which is a down throw to back air. Gets a forward smash, 54% in 3 moves.
Yep.
So if you guys are wondering Zelda's damage output.
Please don't tell me that's it. Yeah, no. Zelda's recovery is good enough. But no, definitely. I mean, Zelda is the character who hits you less, but is all about knockback and damage. She's definitely all about her punishes and her defensive play. But Edgar, you can see how he's just chasing Vin, not letting him set up anything. As a matter of fact, I don't think last game we saw mini Guardian set up at all.
That speaks a little bit
that
to
was so good. Yeah. Did you see how patient Vin was doing the very next attack he threw out being a sweet spotted back air? That was incredible.
He hopped over him in neutral to kind of like take advantage of him. I think he was really hoping for the stock there, but what you'll notice is that Edgar, and to a lot of the credit of what he's been doing, has been throwing out that auto reticle and the fire to prevent and, you know, really put it in Ven's eyes, you know, hey, if you're going to do this move, I'm going to punish it and make it useless every time. And that's why we're seeing a lack of the Guardian now.
Right. No, definitely. And Edgar still holding on to the stock right now. Never mind.
There's that forward smash.
Vin gets the forward smash. And one thing I have to owe to Vin is that it's really not easy to kill with smash attacks. Like, these are heavy commit moves where if you miss them, you're getting punished, especially by Palutena. So Vin being able to confidently throw out forward airs, back airs, and land these smash attacks to get those kills is quite impressive because we've seen how slippery Edgar can be.
Absolutely, and great angles right now we're seeing from both players with their teleport recoveries. Not too much has been taken advantage of as far as them, you know, being off stage. It's more so the ledge game that's really dictating the pace of this match here. And right now, Vin has a slight lead, yeah. And this is where we have Edgar shining, you know, half a stage away, I should say, and just completely dominating neutral when Ven's on the ledge. And let's see how he's going to try to clean the stock up. Go to the mix-up with a down throw.
Right there, throwing out that forward smash. You saw the kind of risk that it got Vin in. Being at 144% as well, Vin's going to have to be careful. Getting a good hit right there, 42%, setting up the Guardian, but Edgar just teleporting right behind it. Vin is on him right now, though. Let's see how far he can take this advantage state, how much percent he can get on it.
The dash attack not going to do it yet. Not enough rage, I would say.
That is, Palutena's dash attack is a really good neutral breaker.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of the times he will run up at Vin and just throw one out. And a lot of the times, dash attack is used to break people's neutral. Whenever you see people just foxtrotting, dashing around back and forth, a lot of the times, dash attack is that burst option that you need to kind of break it. Now he's going for a ride. That is a combo you just have to take. You don't want to get hit by Palutena's Nair at 0%.
Yeah, you're just going to eat another 40%. And right there, you know, most of the time you're going to end up in a deficit. Good job from Van to, you know, at least put on some damage early on, so that way he wouldn't be playing from behind right now. But this neutral exchange right now is insane. Oh. With the amount of the lack of buttons they're pressing and still getting into each other's faces is incredible, especially for the fact that both of them have crazy options with the high damage and the high knockback with Zelda and the safety with Palutena. They've actually resorted to pressing less buttons in general to really take advantage of each individual punish.
Yeah, and because Palutena is so safe.
Oh, my gosh.
My goodness.
That was, I think, a bad DI for the mix-up.
Yeah, I think so. But one thing, because Palutena is so safe, Ven's going to have to work a lot more on spacing. I'm definitely seeing a lot of movement from him in neutral, but up close, he's not really avoiding neutral airs. Remember, against Palutena, it is actually best to shield less and move more. and Edgar has been landing so many nairs on Vin. Vin's going to have to do something different now.
Yeah, he excuse me. He finds himself on his tournament stock, actually, already being down 2-0 on his last stock.
Edgar just walking up right there after the explosive light.
That was a really silly exchange, but you know, and to a point that you're making here, you know, movement is definitely what you need to have versus Palutena. I think it's really unfortunate, though, being Zelda, movement's not her strong suit.
It's definitely not. I think when it comes to movement against Palutena, though, I think dash speed is important. Palutena actually, or no, Zelda has a better dash speed than Ness. Ness's dash speed is like 50-something on Choreograph Hammer. Zelda's is in like the 30s. Like 30
wow.
best. Yeah, her dash speed is actually really good. So with her dash, she actually can avoid things, but he's just misplacing so many attacks. And look at the punishes.
Wow, that was
Edgar
fantastic.
is getting this advantage.
Oh, my goodness.
So Edgar's just playing out of his mind right now.
We've got a forward air to neutral air. 40%.
Yeah, let's see what he can make out of this. Grab him.
No.
A little too much.
Wow, that was a
right
great Din's fire.
This could still be Vin's
my
game.
goodness.
He's going for the sweet spot.
There's
Here he goes.
one.
And that was almost a read, but
almost
Edgar
got him.
drifting just out of the hitbox behind him.
The full hop. What a comeback, yeah.
He literally pushed Edgar forward in his shield.
Got the bait for the jump.
And said, ha, I read you. Game.
That was a fantastic.
That was an anime moment.
that was fantastic from Ven, delivering that forward air in a very clutch situation. Keep in mind, he was down a significant percent and really brought it all back in a matter of 10 seconds with those exchanges. You know, and I think it all started when he landed that first lightning kick off the stage, got control, was able to put on the quickest 90%.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the beauty of being a character who excels in punishes. You're never really that far below as long as you can manage to get those hits, and that's what Vin is showing us right now, is that even though he's down, he's definitely not out.
A quick 44% in 10 seconds coming in from Edgar gives him a slight lead, but we're going to PS2 now. I think this is actually a much better stage for Zelda, considering the fact, and I know that Ven's doesn't really prefer it, but I think
he's not the biggest fan.
This gives him a much better opportunity to set up his night, I think, and that's where he'll probably feel comfortable. And I think being comfortable when you're down 2-1 is very important.
You see how patient they were just being right there? Hanging on the ledge, Edgar just standing there. I think he sees, like, wait a minute, I don't have to move.
Yep.
Let me just react on ledge. What a call out right there. Edgar with the perfect reaction, though. I really like seeing react battles. Reads are very interesting and all, but react battles is where things start getting really fast. And you can see it right now. Vin is actually kind of turning up.
Yeah, he's pressing a lot more buttons, too. That's what I've noticed.
Like, yeah, he's playing a little bit faster. He's also setting up more Guardians. Edgar's playing more respectful, too.
Good dash attack punish, yeah. You got to get something off of a grab. And I think that I'm very surprised, honestly, by the last two counter picks. Going back to Smashville, although it did work for Vin, and then going to PS2, which just naturally is a great stage for Zelda because we're seeing the Knight because Edgar doesn't have the opportunity to be close enough to really use the auto reticle or the fire to deny him.
Yeah, and this is Edgar's counter pick as well. I don't think he's taking full advantage of it because I really think in this matchup it goes both ways because in one instance you have Zelda, she has more space to set up Guardian, but at the same time, if Edgar's really taking advantage of being disrespectful of it, he could rush down a lot harder when he knows that that's what Vin's going to do.
Oh,
taking
my
great
goodness.
Advantage of the invincibility on the back air of the shield right there. Vin couldn't do anything. That was a regrab.
And I also believe that was untechable at that point.
It was definitely not techable. Vin had to hold that, so that was a great option.
Wow.
And here you have a spacing battle going on, but how many auto reticles were thrown out just there?
With auto reticle, the Knight, Din's fire, everything was going off right there.
Definitely just a range battle. And it's really interesting how these two play in neutral. Either Edgar's rushing down or they're just throwing things out. And it's really interesting to see how these two just switch it up like that. And I think it's really good because it really keeps them guessing. That's what I'm saying. Mixing up in this matchup between these two because they play so much, they know each other so well, it's super important.
Right now, Edgar doing a good job of retaining stage control here, holding that lead. He still has all three stocks. And keep in mind, Ven was down 2-0, was able to get a game, and wow, he just ran up and grabbed it.
He didn't care at all.
No, he just said,
no, this is going to happen.
Mine.
This is how the game's playing out. He had the That's So Raven vision. He knew exactly what's going on. And look at him capitalizing. Vin hasn't been able to close out the
92%, and I mean, this is a character that relies on those heavy moves, gets a dash attack right there, but I mean, taking 92%. Granted, Vin's shown us that he's able to make these comebacks, but on a second
I'm not nervous at all.
Like,
I'm not scared for Vin at all. Like, we've seen Vin in so many disadvantaged situations that I would not be surprised if he brought this back.
Let me ask you this, though. Are you concerned for Edgar, though, because this is very similar to the last game?
Right. I mean, as far as Edgar goes, right now his ledge trapping, if he gets this stock, like,
now?
soon. he's putting on a lot of pressure. He's definitely putting on a lot of pressure, and if Vin can't get anything going, you see that Vin is air dodging a lot. That's a bad sign.
But actually, I respect the air dodge in that situation because last time he was in a similar position where he had a high percent. He wanted to avoid the back throw, and I think he knew that wasn't going to come because of the positioning. So the best logical option would be to avoid a down throw setup, which is to DI away, air dodge away.
You don't have to air dodge at that point, though.
Okay. I think he was more so respecting the fact that neutral air may have also been an option that Edgar might have thrown out in that scenario.
Yeah.
But I can see where you're coming from. I don't think he's developed that as a habit, but we'll see on the next throw if he's going to start throwing out more air dodges.
Speaking of throws, here we go. Vin is going for these reads, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, look at the percents. They're not quite evening out, but Vin is definitely taking advantage. This stock here, just rolling away, just trying to be safe, getting hit by that Nair, and that's the kind of stuff that Edgar's going to be looking for early game is just those combo starters. Vin is doing a good job avoiding it, though, and check this out.
Oh, wow.
Vin has pretty much been in an advantage this whole time.
Oh, my goodness, what a lightning kick.
This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I am not surprised at all that this is happening. The thing with Edgar, though, is like...
Oh, my goodness. That would have been a fantastic fire, setting up a KO possibly, but great job from Ben recovering back on the stage here at 88%.
You just never really know what's going to happen.
Yeah, with these two players, you can't count either of them out here. All right, so right there, we saw the air dodge again. So, yes, if Edgar catches on, the fact that he's air dodging after these down throws, we could see just a hard read up smash or forward smash.
Yeah, he could really chase him out there, too. Like, he could really go off stage and forward air him in the blast zone or something like that because Vin actually does have a habit of doing that. He's chasing him. Could this be it?
Great patience from Edgar, recognizing the
fact. They both went deep.
Absolutely. They both were in the bubble trying to make, like...
See, right there, he didn't have to air dodge. I'm sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. The fact that Edgar right there, I want to give him a lot of credit because he played so safe down there, knowing that he didn't have like a float. You know, he just has to teleport and make it back.
Right.
With all those hitboxes out there, and now he's back in a position where he's been able to
He's
win.
the one edge guarding now.
Oh, and just a raw forward smash.
What?
A raw forward smash coming out and ending the game here. So Edgar losing, like I believe round 2 or 3 to Jerry, the Ken player.
Yeah,
now finds himself
he's in
grand finals.
And honestly, I got to tell you, I'm so